In the studio today, a very special guest, a gal who came up and tapped me on the shoulder at church recently, and I didn't know that I worked at KCIS, and she, like a lot of times, people have a book they want to tell me more about and maybe get interviewed on the radio and share their vision, and that is what led to today and our conversation with Sharon Rolph. Hi there, Sharon.
Well, hi, Mark. Nice to be here today. Thank you.
Good to see you once again. You had a book that you gave me. You went out to the car, and something you self-published here about a year ago. It's called Fresh Courage in Retirement, Finding Purpose, Essence, and Fulfillment. And you've been retired for a little while, and you just have a real heart for communicating with people how to get the most out of their retirement years. What made you want to write a book like this?
Well, Mark, I have always, since a teenager, had a mystique about potential. My potential, for one, like what is life going to bring? In fact, I kind of remember a dream I had 2-3 times about being in the car with Mom and, I want to figure out how life turns out, And so as I went through my career, I was often inspiring and encouraging people. I helped a few people with their resume, because oftentimes resumes are hard because we don't know who we are. Somebody else can tell us better who we are. And that's kind of the premise of my work now, because, we all need encouragement. We all need people that maybe help us with what's possible. And, we need to revive our curiosity and become like a 3-year-old again and just poke around and see what is there for us to do. The myth at Boeing before I left that just jabbed me in the heart was, when you retire, you die within 3 years. Oh, man.
We have heard that. They get the gold watch and they're done.
Well, and then before the pandemic, I was driving Lyft to pay off a bill or two, and I mentioned that to somebody. Yeah, that myth is at my job too, and it had nothing to do with Boeing, where I heard it. So I have a heart for bringing out the best in people, and that's possible in retirement because we are the boss in retirement. We don't have to make a boss happy. We decide. So how many people are focusing on being happy in retirement? And I think if you become a couch potato, you will die probably within about 3 years.
So anti-couch potato is what you're all about. Well, what was interesting, too, you, as we were talking off air, you wanted to dispel the myth that people find their purpose out there, and in their retirement years they're thinking for something new that maybe they never thought of before. But you want to really reiterate with people that what you've been gifted with your whole life, your interests your whole life, probably is a better clue as to what you're supposed to do in retirement as well.
Yeah. When in retirement, it's freedom to live from our heart. Well, we probably forgot what makes our heart happy. I tell in my book about my sister, and she knew that being in the forest and camping and being close to Mount Rainier around Beauty was making her happy. And how many people even know what makes them happy? And so I have used her as she did a lot of research to find out, and they've got a couple of lots down here by Mount Rainier. So let's start with what makes you happy, and does it still fit for retirement? And then let's talk about what things do you love to do. If you could make a list of 20 things that you love to do, hey, can you do it in the next 20 minutes? So I think we need to look at what equipment, in Boeing it was OEM, original equipment manufacturer. That would be God, manufactured us. And can we appreciate what he put inside of us and then live from that with unshakable confidence? And I believe the answer is yes.
Well, and live with fresh courage, as to the title of your book, Fresh Courage in Retirement. Some of the chapters in here: conserve resources, conserve time, build a social network, gain status, accumulate resources, be generous, desire meaning. Of all those chapters, what do you think probably surmises your book the most?
Well, let me tell you, those chapter titles don't mean a lot to me, actually.
Oh, okay.
What I got from a Donald Miller book, that of the things people want out of life, they're often focused on those 7 or 8 categories. Okay. They want to either conserve time, they want to conserve resources, they want fame or whatever. So I use those as kind of a building block in a vague kind of way. But chapter 3, let me point out for you, is significantly focused on on solopreneurs, those who are like me.
Solopreneurs?
Yes.
I've never heard that word before.
Yeah, it's a new term.
Okay.
Some PhD lady that I heard speak created that, and it's people who do not have children in retirement.
Which is you.
Which is me.
Mm-hmm.
She, in her case, she was married, but neither one, I think it was a second marriage, and neither of them had kids. Well, she dawned on her one day that when she gets older and maybe struggles changing a light bulb, or maybe getting ill and her husband isn't home, who would take her to the doctor or the hospital, needing a younger person that, like children, that would come along and be a resource for you in a tight spot. And she realized that having multi-generational friends would be a good idea for solopreneurs, because the pill and the abortion and the careers became a reality for us during our, career time.
The boomer generation, yes. Yeah. Got to see all those supposedly wonderful advancements. Well, for people who are listening today and they want to know more about what you do, I was surprised. You have a couple of different websites that you've built. You've done a lot of podcasting, a lot of interviews with movers and shakers in the retirement community. People might be familiar with Leona and Richard Bergstrom, who we've had on KCIS a number of times, similar kinds of work. What are some of those websites? I guess your current website's beautiful. It's called, what do you know? SharonRolph.com. And you spell your name ROLPH, Rolph.com. Lived in the Northwest a long time, and you do coaching, online training, public speaking, different ways that you can help people to find that fresh courage in retirement. A last word from you, Sharon, for people who, there's one thing people today, maybe they just recently retired, or maybe they're starting to get restless and they're wondering what to do with the rest of their life. Is there just a nugget of wisdom that you'd like to pass on? Well,
my favorite saying that I used to have on my website, I don't think it's there anymore, is by Thomas Wolfe. If one has a talent and fails to use it, one has failed. If one has a talent and uses part of it, one has partially failed. If one has a talent and finds how to use the whole of it, they have gloriously succeeded and won a satisfaction few people ever know. I want to bring that reality around the world to boomers to make a difference in good and solving some of the problems, because we can do it from our heart and it matters to us, and we find a place to fit in and to make a difference.
Okay, again, more details, go to SharonRolph.com. And again, her book, Fresh Courage in Retirement, Finding Purpose, Essence, and Fulfillment. Explore the possibilities. Her book out now, available, I assume, at your website and also Amazon?
Yes,
Amazon.com for this book. Thank you, Sharon, for getting in touch with us today.
Thank you.